So chemical bonding from its name is about the bonding or the joining together of two or more atoms. So as you observe, most of the things around us are actually formed by the bonding of different elements. For example, water or H2O, it's composed of two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. So most elements react or they tend to join other elements. Well, not all elements. So these elements here in the last group, these are the inert gases. We call them inert gases because they are inert or behave. So they don't react to other elements at all. While the rest of the elements here, they tend to react, they tend to join, they tend to combine with other elements. So why do chemicals bond? Well, they tend to follow a rule, and that rule is the octet rule. From the word octet, octopus, it means 8. So according to this rule, atoms are stable when they have 8 valence electrons. Again, valence electrons are the electrons found on the outermost energy level, and the number of valence electrons can be determined on its location on the table of elements. All the elements on the group 1A have one valence electron. All the elements here, beryllium, magnesium, calcium, SrBa, Ra, all the elements here have two valence electrons. Here, they have three valence electrons, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 except for helium. So again here, all of these elements have 8 valence electrons, and again they are already stable, so they don't need to react to other elements. But there are exceptions for the octet rule. For example, the duet rule, it's for hydrogen and helium. According to this rule, these elements are already stable when they have two valence electrons, thus duet, so two valence electrons. Other exceptions for the octet rule will be discussed in later discussions. So we have two types of chemical bonding. These are ionic bonding and covalent bonding. Ionic bonding is formed when a metal reacts with a non-metal, and then covalent is non-metal plus non-metal. Then ionic bonding, there is a transfer of electrons, and covalent bonding, they are sharing electrons. Let's examine a sodium chloride molecule or NaCl. NaCl is formed by the bonding of one sodium atom and one chlorine atom. So first, let's identify whether this one is ionic or covalent. Again, they differ in terms of the nature of the element. So it's either metal or non-metal. So sodium is over here, therefore sodium is a metal. Chlorine is over here, it's above the ladder. So chlorine is a non-metal. Okay, sodium is metal, chlorine is non-metal, therefore this one is an ionic compound. It's metal plus non-metal. Next, let's try to inspect whether these atoms are stable or happy. Again, they are happy when they have 8 valence electrons. So for us to know its valence electrons, we need to know its electron configuration. We need to know how the electrons are arranged inside the atom. So the electron configuration for sodium is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, and 3s1. If we try to visualize this one, that's sodium. On the first energy level, that's 1 over here, it has 2 electrons. Then on the second energy level, we have 2 plus 6. We have 8 in total. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on the third energy level, its outermost energy level, there is 1 electron. So here, sodium have 1 valence electron. Again, valence electron is the electron the number of electrons found on the outermost energy level. So sodium have one valence electron. It's not happy. Again, according to the rule, they are happy when they have 8 valence electron. Let's go to chlorine. Chlorine have the following electron configuration: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p5. So for the first energy level, that's 2 electrons. For the second energy level, that's the 2s2 then 2p6. Overall, there are 8 electrons here. On the third energy level, we have 3s2 then 3p5. So that's 2 plus 5. That's 7. Almost 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So both of these atoms are not stable, or they are not happy because they don't have that 8 valence electrons. But again, they want to be happy, or they want to have that 8 valence electrons. So how can they do that? So chlorine have already 7 valence electrons. It needs one more electron. And in this case, it seems like sodium have one more electron, because if, let's say, it will lose this electron here, then the second energy level have 8 valence electrons. So in this case, there is a transfer of electrons. So this sodium atom here will donate its one electron to this chlorine atom. So after donating, obviously, it will now have 8 valence electron. And this electron will be loose or donated to other compound. Therefore, right now, the second energy level is now the outermost energy level. So it now have 2 plus 6. It now have 8 electrons on its outermost energy level. So both atoms are now stable. So this becomes a negative charge, or negatively charged, by the way, because it receives the electron. This becomes negative, and this becomes positive because it loses the electron. So here negative charge, then here positive charge, and again opposite charge will attract. So that's the reason why they will be attracted to each other and then combine to form a molecule. So again, this Na here becomes positive, and this Cl here becomes negative. They will be attracted to each other, and that's the reason they combine or join together. If we draw the electron dot structure for this, that would be Na. Then the dots will be the number of valence electrons. So here sodium have one valence electron. Cl have 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 valence electron. Again here, sodium will donate its sodium. So sodium will lose this electron and donate this one to chlorine. So after the transfer of electrons, this becomes negative because it receives the electron, and Na here becomes positive. So this one is the electron dot structure for NaCl.